Good evening, Ananda. We welcome you all to the international seminar on suicide prevention, health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025. Today, as part of international webinar series that is organized by Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences, and Well-being since almost a decade, on and off, and almost since pandemic, everyday sessions are being organized for disseminating knowledge on this platform for free, providing accessibility, affordability to everyone from novice to senior professionals, stalwarts in various disciplines. As part of this daily commemorations and celebrations, we are organizing today, on occasion of World Suicide Prevention Day, international seminar on suicide prevention, health, well-being, and sustainable development. So on this occasion, we'll be having resource persons talking on various aspects of suicide prevention and strategies. So before we get into the subject, let's take the blessings from Almighty and then we shall continue. The registration link has been already shared to all of you in advance. So to mark your attendance, you can see the registration form in the form of polls. So you can fill the registration form in Zoom platform that is not accessible outside. So you can fill it and mark your attendance. And in the same way, feedback form also will be shared in the Zoom platform only at the end of the seminar. So we request everyone to mark your attendance and in both the registration form as well as feedback form. And we request everyone to fill the details correctly. Do not make any mistakes because this data is directly used by the system to generate certificates. So there is no manual intervention. So we request everyone to fill the details properly and avoid any mistakes so that there is no printing mistake on the certificates. So if anyone is unable to log in or if the capacity is full, you can also watch on YouTube. Automatically, you will see a link when you are not able to access the exceeded limit on this platform. So you can also watch on YouTube and share your details there. So first preference, you try to join in Zoom platform. So if you are unable to access, then you can also watch on YouTube. But it will be difficult for tracking the attendance on YouTube. That's why I always try to attend in Zoom platform. So with these instructions, let's move forward by taking the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
So with the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations and sessions. So we'll be having sessions by resource persons starting at 6:30. In the meanwhile, we will have brief introduction about this day by me. So today we are celebrating World Suicide Prevention Day, which is promoted by World Health Organization as well as International Association for Suicide Prevention, with the theme Change the Narrative for 2025. The International Association for Suicide Prevention is dedicated to prevent suicide and suicidal behavior and elevating the effects. So IASP leads the global role in suicide prevention by strategically developing an effective forum that is proactive in creating strong collaborative partnerships and promoting evidence-based action in order to reduce the incidence of suicide and suicidal behavior. The World Health Organization estimates more than 7 lakh people die due to suicide each year, and that almost 77% of all global suicides in low and middle income countries, in short known as LMICs, for every suicide, there are many more who attempt suicide or have serious suicide ideation. So suicidal behavior profoundly impacts families and communities and remains a universal challenge with millions impacted. The reduction of suicide mortality is of global importance and a vital public health consideration. So the International Association for Prevention aim to utilize collectively expertise and knowledge in order to empower effective suicide prevention throughout the world to meet their aims and objectives with the vision which is of a comprehensive and compassionate world free of suicide, with mission to prevent suicide and suicidal behavior, to eliminate its effects, and to provide a forum for academics, mental health professionals, crisis workers, volunteers, and lived experience with values. 6 key values are fundamental to the core of IASP's mission and reflected through their global membership, which are central to the productivity of the association: compassion, diversity and inclusivity, recognition, collaboration, prevention and support, transparency, principles, and human rights. So IASP is a leading global collaboration, advance and strengthen IASP's global mission by fostering inclusivity and collaboration in suicide prevention worldwide, strengthening advocacy and knowledge exchange, building a stronger international presence for advocacy and suicide prevention, ensuring the effective use of IASP platform for communicating cross-cultural knowledge, exchange and evidence-based research, expanding reach and diversity, enhance reach, diversity and representation throughout their membership and network to further suicide prevention across all cultures, sectors, and regions across the globe, driving innovation and impact, lead suicide prevention efforts through IASP's forum of expertise, exploiting changing trends, innovation, research, and effective implementation and practice with measures to evaluate outcome and organizational impact. So the strategy, International Association for Suicide Prevention, Organizational Strategy 2024 to 2028. Over the past 15 years, IASP has prepared and advanced a vibrant strategy that reflected and targeted current needs of addressing suicidal behavior and its prevention across the globe. Here, by incorporating an external evaluation and carefully listening to the membership and partners, the board embarked on a strategic process to formulate organizational directions for 2024 to 2028 that reflects the growing need to reduce suicides, the 2024-28 strategy. Is a continuum of the previous strategies and extends to meet higher demands in low and middle income countries where suicides are more predominant and resources are more limited. Focus is on key organizational concepts of inclusivity, diversity, and sustainability as a priority, as well as a commitment to collaborate partnerships that spearhead joint action and positive results. So today, as we are commemorating World Suicide Prevention Day on 10th September, with the theme for 2025, Suicide Prevention, changing the narrative on suicide. Suicide is a major public health problem with far-reaching social, emotional, and economic consequences. It's estimated that there are currently more than 720,000 suicides per year worldwide, and we know that each suicide profoundly affects many more people. Suicides remain a critical global issue, affecting individuals and communities worldwide. Changing the narrative on suicide aims to inspire individuals, communities, organizations, and governments to engage in open and honest discussions about suicide and suicidal behavior. By initiating these vital conversations, we can break down barriers, raise awareness, and create better cultures of understanding and support. So every nation, community, and individual is at different stage in their understanding and awareness of suicide prevention. So no matter where you stand, there are many ways to be involved in World Suicide Prevention Day. So we have a range of activities and resources to ensure everyone can participate meaningfully, whether you are just beginning to learn about suicide prevention or deeply involved in advocacy. There are opportunities for you to contribute and support for this vital cause. Like there are few examples how we can change the narrative on suicide over World Suicide Prevention Day 2025 and take conversation through our daily life. Like by addressing different areas, like for individuals, for communities, for organizations, for governments. By addressing these areas and working collaboratively across sectors, we can create a more supportive and compassionate society where suicide is preventable and everyone feels valued and understood. Every conversation, no matter how small, contribute to a more supportive and understanding society. Together, we can make a difference and work towards a future where suicide prevention is prioritized and everyone feels supported to get the help that works for them. So we'll look at various sectors after some time. So with the theme on World Suicide Prevention Day 2025, changing the narrative on suicide. You are not alone. Suicide, the tri-annual theme for the World Suicide Prevention Day 2024 to 2026. That is previous year, this year, next year, it is going to be the same, changing the narrative on suicide. So this theme calls on us all to challenge harmful myths, reduce stigma, foster open, compassionate conversations about suicide. It is about shifting from silence and misunderstanding to openness, empathy, and support, creating environments where people feel able to speak up and seek help. So here, changing the narrative also means driving systematic change. It calls for suicide prevention and mental health to be a priority in public policy, urging governments and institutions to take action. This includes developing and implementing evidence based strategies, improving access to quality care, and ensuring those in distress receive the support they need. World Suicide Prevention Day was established in 2003 by the International Association for Suicide Prevention in partnerships with the World Health Organizations. Each year on 10th September, World Suicide Prevention Day focuses global attention on suicide prevention, uniting communities, organizations, and governments with the shared belief that suicides are preventable. So, what are your thoughts on World Suicide Prevention Day? How we can go ahead in preventing suicides? You can use chat box to share your thoughts. For a minute, we will take a break and just hear what are various thoughts pondering in your mind when you look at for suicide prevention. Any thoughts you can share in chat box? No thoughts? How come so? We want to prevent suicides or not? Suicide is good or bad? Hmm? No thoughts? You can use chat box to share your thoughts. You can text it in chat box. Okay, parents should focus on desire for their children and try to avoid frustration leading to such actions. By Ghanshyam Gal. Very good. Anyone else? You can use chat box for sharing your thoughts. Okay, anyone else? Be proactive. You can also watch on YouTube if you have any issue joining it. No thoughts? You can share in chat box. No need to raise hand. You can put in your chat box. Okay. Yes, for suicide prevention, even mental health is also more important by Ujwala, right? And any more? You can use chat box. So to conduct session smoothly, you cannot unmute yourself. You have to use chat box to respond. Whenever it is required, we will unmute you. So that's why don't raise your hands. Only when we ask you to raise your hands, you can respond. Otherwise, please use chat box. You can message in chat box. You can send to host. Okay. So if you don't have any thoughts, or if you are, still pondering on how to go about it, so let's look at a few suggestions or tips. Talking, we can change narrative. How we can change narrative? You can keep sharing your thoughts in chat box. So taking time to reach out to someone in your community or in your family or a friend or a colleague or even a stranger. So this could change the course of another's life. So look out for those who you think might be struggling, and don't be afraid to ask someone if they are suicidal. The offer of support, showing empathy, and validating their feelings is more likely to reduce distress rather than exacerbate it. So encourage them to seek help and further support. Keep informed as you are checking with your loved ones. Consider accessing training opportunities in suicide prevention and awareness to identify and support those with suicidal thoughts and behavior. Opportunities may be available locally or through online, through webinars, seminars, workshops, or in your workplace or in your educational institutions. Our speaker is joining. Let's wait for a minute. Then we'll continue our discussion after the presentation. In the meanwhile, you can continue sharing your thoughts in chat box. I'm taking a break, pause, so that you can respond in chat box. So use this opportunity to respond in chat box. Everyone, kindly use your chat box. Dr. Shilpa, you can use chat box. I think you are speaking to some. There is option for everyone to send to host. You can send to host. You cannot send to everyone, but you can message to host. So you can directly send to host. No need to worry. So that to avoid disturbance to all the participants, we have enabled one-to-one communication. So don't worry, your messages are received by us. It can be only seen by the host. Okay, by seeing it as a multidimensional issues, not just a personal struggle. Okay. Involve in social activities. Always share problem with family members and friends. Good. Any more? So now we will continue with our first resource person. And then after this, we will continue our discussion and keep sharing your thoughts, which are pondering about suicide prevention. Today, we have with us Dr. G. Krishna. Sir would be delivering talk on self and identity disorder. Dr. G. Krishna, sir, is senior clinical psychologist and has vast experience and is expert in clinical and rehabilitation psychology. As an academician, researcher, and practitioner, and vast teaching, research, and clinical practice. With over 25 years of professional experience, he is a highly skilled and passionate clinical psychologist dedicated to working with individuals across the lifespan, including children, adolescents, adults, and families. And his career and experience spans across public, private sectors, including roles in educational institutions, management, hospitals, community mental health settings, and rehabilitation units. In his tenure and his in service, he demonstrated expertise in collaborating with multidisciplinary teams, including psychiatrists, physicians, social workers, counselors, and allied health professionals to provide holistic health care. And he has vast experience and he has extensively conducted various workshops and recognized by RCI licensed and retired faculty at NIEPID, which is central government organization, and also alumni of prestigious NIMHANS. His domain expertise includes psychological assessment, individual and group counseling, cognitive behavioral therapy, REBT, DBT, mindfulness-based interventions, crisis intervention and management, stress, anxiety and depression, management, resilience building, career and academic performance counseling, trauma-informed counseling, substance abuse counseling, and relationship counseling, and many more. So he has PhD in psychology and various other academic qualifications, research publications, and projects to his credit. Without taking much time, I would now invite Dr. Sri Krishna, sir, to take over for his session. Over to you, sir. Can unmute yourself. And start your video. Yeah, we can see you, sir, but we can't hear. Now it's fine.
Okay. Thank you, Ravindra, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, all. And we are meeting on a very, very important and a noble day, World Suicide Prevention Day. So, I would like to start my presentation on self and identity disorder. Okay. And I'm sure all of you know that what is happening in Nepal because of the stoppage of social networking and social media. And so this is basically due to youth identifying with the social media like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and all those stuff. So it has become a main tool for communication. That's fine. So the internet revolution is good. Like it will help us to move ahead and develop ourselves. But how identity matters here? I request the participants to just turn off their videos. Aminur Islam, please stop your video. Ghanshyam sir, please stop your video. It is disturbing me. Pratika also. Okay. So this identity topic, I have taken it from Erik Erikson. If you're students of psychology, he's a very popular figure in psychology, Erik Erikson, who spoke about identity versus role confusion. So what is identity? Like one should understand who I am and what is my self-concept and my self-image. So basically, this identity formation as a children, as a kids, we do not have a choice, but the self develops like a mirror imaging, because the self sees through the image through the parents and significant others or guardians. So when the self is made, identity also form. So in identity, somebody identifies some identify with parents, somebody identify with the partner, somebody identify with the children. So what is healthy identity? What is unhealthy identity? So one should understand what is healthy identity, what is unhealthy identity. Actually, I wanted to, this is a different laptop I'm using, so I'm not very convenient to share my screen. So please forgive me for that. So first, we need to understand what is virtual bonding and what is virtual reality. See, after the internet revolution, after the social networking revolution, people started identifying or virtual bonding, virtual reality more than in the human bonding and human relations. So the cell phone and the tab and laptop has become a source of information and also source of identity. What is virtual bonding? Because the virtual bonding is the person who is unable to form normal human relations forms a virtual through Insta, Facebook, or WhatsApp and starts communicating. And why virtual bonding is dangerous? Because just a month ago or a few weeks ago, one girl in USA was taking mental health support from a artificial intelligence tool, but the AI tool could not help this girl, and finally the girl committed suicide. And as a practicing clinical psychologist, I have seen lots and lots of young girls and young boys coming up with mental health issues, like when the person who they form virtual bonding relations, they stop talking or the relationship is ending. So, and the problem also, when you identify with a partner, or children or parents, it is healthy. But when you cross the boundaries, psychological boundaries, like your life is dependent upon your partner, your life is dependent upon your parents or children, like if they love you, if they recognize you, you are a human being. Otherwise, you are fit for nothing. This can happen, I have seen in many cases. So what I mean to say, when the identity, when the self, unhealthy self or unhealthy identity is formed, people get into problems, and when they purely dependent upon other individuals. I know a family, uh, like one of their son went to USA and started living there. But even buying of a pair of a shoe or a pair of a dress, he calls from USA and asks his mother what to buy. So the dependence on other individuals, it is unhealthy. Number two, dependence on social networking and posting pictures or posting different information. And when you're not getting likes and comments back, you get disappointed. And I'm sure you know, if you search Facebook, there was a case of a Dev who was running a YouTube channel, and there was not enough number of replies or enough number of likes, and he committed suicide. So friends, this is a very, very serious situation what we are facing today. So one should keep identity with oneself, and when identity becomes a disorder, when it becomes identity disorder, because when you lose a job or you lose a relationship, or imagine a parents giving birth to a difficult or a disabled baby, those times our beliefs are challenged and your identity gets shaken. So those times one needs to consult a psychologist or a psychiatrist and take help, and then only one can one can understand the importance and the impact of those losses. And we call it in psychology as reactive depression or reactive anxiety. So in reaction to events like a relationship break or a job loss or in a crisis situation, people in reaction to those events develop this reactive depression and reactive anxiety. So, but when you look into when you look into your own life, your own past experiences, it comes from this identity failure. So one has to understand that the keeping identity with oneself is very, very important. And identity confusion or identity disorder, it comes when someone meets with a terrible experiences. Okay. Ravindra, can we open it for a question and answer session?
Sir, after session, I think we can open.
Okay. Just a minute.
Awesome. Just
Okay.
to share with you, sir, when we started the meeting, to avoid, flooded with messages, we have disabled only one-to-one message. So though we are asking people to respond, but they are more worried about, sending message rather they are not able to see others' message or send to others. So the same situation even we saw in Zoom platform also, like you were talking
Okay.
about self-identity. That crisis is almost everywhere. Just an observation.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now it is a kind of learning through experience. The participants are witnessing that. Yeah. Coming to self. There are three selves. Two selves have been defined by Carl Rogers, the famous psychologist. He says real self and ideal self. The real self is what you are. The ideal self is what you want to be. So if there is a big discrepancy or if there's a big gap between what you are and what you want to be, there is a serious conflict in the self leading to various psychological disorders. And the third type is odd self, O-U-G-H-T, odd self, which is the self others want you to see, like your significant parents or significant others like parents and brothers and sisters. So there is a conflict between what you are and what others want you to be. So these three self, when there is a conflict between what is your real self and what is your ideal self and what is your odd self. So what you are, what you want to be, and what others want you to be. So one has to maintain a balance between these three selves so that one can form a good identity. And another thing we want to understand about the belief system, because the beliefs run our life. The beliefs run our life. I have seen a vice president of a software company a decade back. He comes up with a problem that, sir, my wife is not supporting me, she is not loving me, she is not caring me. And we started counseling, and we came to one single belief that he formed from childhood onwards, that life will be wonderful if I have a loving and supporting partner. Even though life will be wonderful if I have a supporting and loving partner. So no one in the world can 100% match to your expectations. So this single belief system has led him to build ideal expectations and all the time screening through this particular image and ruining the life of himself. And he attempted suicide and all, and he just started troubling his wife and children. So participants, one need to understand what is our belief system and how it is impacting our emotions, how it is impacting our life. So the three important things: self, identity, and beliefs. So if one can correct beliefs, for example, a belief, I'm sure all of you must have seen, most of the youth, especially young children, when the results are out, intermediate or 10th class, or even the Kota campus in Rajasthan, where it has become a suicide hub. Within a year, more than 50 to 60 people have committed suicide because they were expecting results. So what would be running in their minds at that point of time? That if I fail in exams, I'm a failure in life. If I fail in exam, I'm a failure in life. If I don't get good results, I'm a failure. So when they value their self along with the expectation, then that leads to severe depression, even at times suicide also. So one has to be very, very careful what one's beliefs, what's one's identity, and what's one self. So participants, how to overcome this identity disorder? First, I would like to bring in once again Carl Rose's concept of there is a concept of perceived reality versus actual reality. Perceived reality versus actual reality. Many individuals, even though the life is wonderful happening outside, blessed with a good family, good job, good friends, but still they think that they live in a perception how life should be according to my own direction. So what they perceive, what they understand, if it cannot match with the actual reality, again there is a conflict. And for participants, one must understand conflict. I'm sure what is the meaning of conflict. two incompatible goals. So when the conflict always leads to stress, and stress resulting in depression. If the conflict is not resolved in time, that becomes a dangerous source of depression, and that might lead to suicide. So participants, how to overcome identity disorder? Consult a professional clinical psychologist or psychologist and discuss about your issues, and then manage. And believe the thumb rule or the crux of self is accepting the reality as it is. Like the famous Albert Ellis, rational emotive behavior therapist, he gave three golden principles to lead successful and happy life. First, he said, unconditional acceptance of self. Unconditional accept of self in terms of physical and mental. In the whatever form you are physically, without comparison, accept yourself unconditionally, embrace yourself, love yourself physically and mentally, whatever the position you are. And you might ask a question, sir, when I unconditionally accept myself, how can I move forward? But unless you accept yourself, unless you love yourself, nobody is going to love you, or nobody is going to give you the psychological kick. Then when you are having this impression that someone will fulfill my life, then you'll become a victim of alcohol or drugs, and the now generation. So the first principle is unconditional acceptance of self. Number two, unconditional acceptance of others. You need to accept other people as they are, but we judge, we evaluate, and we love them, we respect them when they respect you or when they love you. But leave it apart. When you unconditionally accept others, then life will be very smooth. And the third one is unconditional acceptance of life conditions. Unconditional acceptance of life conditions. See, people complain about temperature, people complain about traffic and other conditions. Then they also become victim of depression and anxiety disorders. I'm sure you know, in Corona period, I have counseled a lot of people, and many people are generally they are died because of a lot of anxiety issues. So friends, participants, so please understand that follow the golden principles of given by Albert Ellis: unconditional acceptance of self, unconditional acceptance of others, unconditional acceptance of life conditions. Whatever the position you are, whether you are in a job or without a job, without a partner or whatever it is, just accept these three things, then you'll come out of this identity disorder. And thank you so much, Dr. Ravindra. And we'll open for a question and answer session. That's all from my side. And participants, finally, one more thing. Your life is your 100% responsibility. Your life is your 100% responsibility. Nobody is going to take care of you. Nobody is going to take responsibility of your life or your happiness or your success. You are 100% responsible. If you think that way, life will be very smooth. Over to Ravindra.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. And you have taken an apt topic on this occasion. We see, people are very much associated with virtual identity, and how we need to be aware of different identities, as you rightly pointed out. Now the floor is open for observations or queries, if any. You can raise your hand so that we can unmute you one by one. You can also use chat box. If you want to share orally, if you can raise hand, we will allow you to unmute yourself.
Participant, please be active and raise your questions, raise your doubts. I'll be very happy to answer.
One comment from Rashi Indoria. Sir, you have talked about identity with oneself. Sir, I want to give a reference of an editorial of Times of India published today, in which there is conversation with an owner of an NGO working in the same area. The lady revealed that they got their youngest caller of 80 years. And sir, I just wanted to know that is there any specific age when human mind forms this identity with oneself?
Ravindra, that identity formation generally happens around between the ages of 5 and 8 years.
Yes,
So
sir.
generally, according to Sigmund Freud and other famous psychologists, they talked about the concept of self and the identity is formed before 5 years of age. But we can just we can say that between 5 to 8 years, this identity is formed. For example, I would like to bring about, and I would like to type in the chat box for the reference. In 2000, in 2000, the University of Sydney has conducted a study of self-image between normal individuals, physically handicapped, intellectual disability, and learning disability. So they wanted to compare between whose self-image is better, and they were very shocked and surprised to find out that the self-image or the self-esteem, the value one gives to oneself, was higher in the population of intellectual disability, learning disability, and physical disability compared to normal human beings. So when they find out, they could understand that these concept of higher self-image came from their parental words, parental conversations. So even though the person is disabled, they started training the individual. You are beautiful, you are intelligent, you are smart, your capacities are, sky is the limit. And these normal individuals came up with a lot of criticism and other things. So the identity of self, and for the future parents and the existing parents, what I would like to say, be gentle, be loving to your kids. Next question, Ravindra. Ravindra, are you there?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Ghanshyam Jasi, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm Ghanshyam Das Garg from Lucknow. Recently, my wife expired on 17th August. She was taken to the hospital for knee operation, but due to thrombosis and AKI, she expired after 3-4 months of ventilator. Now, the things come into my mind that the person who was taken to doctor, and I accepted the advice, and a doctor did the operation. So you have told a second point of Albert Talley, unconditional acceptance of others. Whether we should accept that those were correct and we should forget the event.
Ghanshyamji, good evening. I'm very, very sorry for your loss. 1 second.
Okay, sir.
1 second. So I am very sorry for your loss. I am not not telling that that you avoid love, affection towards people. I am not talking about that. I am totally agree with the loss. I'm totally agree with the pain what you are undergoing. And please read about, there is something called a concept of grief, GRIEF, grief period, pain period. So it will be there generally in India, because the human relations are very strong. It will take for some people 3 to 6 months, for some people years together. And if you are not able to come out of pain, please consult a clinical psychologist. Or if you want to write to me, you can note down, I can give my email ID. and then please write a mail, and I'll be able to help you, Ghanshyamji.
Okay, sir. Okay. Please give me the email.
Please write down Dr. Krishna, Dr. Krishna,
Okay.
drkrishna.nimh@gmail.com.
Okay, sir.
drkrishna.nimh@gmail.com.
Okay.
Ravindra, any other question?
Yes, sir. We
Anusha,
have,
Anusha has raised the hand.
yes, sir. घनश्याम दास जी, आपको और कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए तो मुझे पिंग कीजिए आप, मेरा
Okay.
नंबर है आपके पास,
Okay, sir. Okay.
तो जरूर हेल्प करें. थैंक यू.
Anusha, please, Ravindra, unmute Anusha. Anusha K.
Yeah, Anusha, you can go ahead with your query.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sir, so I just had one question about like the unconditional self that you're mentioning about. I mean, like the unconditional love that we need to give to ourselves, right? So, my question here is, say, for people who are obese in general, so the line is that they tend to be maybe like from the childhood they have like a lot of traumas that they have gone through, resulting in the obesity, or because of like many things that they had like gone through from the childhood, probably they had like landed there. So what is the word that we can tell them, or how can we guide them from that, sir? So I mean, how can we make them understand that it is like because that they've been hurting themselves a lot, and that's like main reason why they have like landed to a part of obesity?
Anusha, first of all, the same principle applies. Just tell them that love yourself. And the research, psychological research, talks about obese people that, the most happiest and the jolly individuals are the obese people. And if they are unable to accept themselves, and naturally, then if for example, some people have biological issues, and and with lot of caution, I'm taking the name of, I'm sure you can think about the famous richest man in India. His son is also facing the same thing, but he has certain biological causation. And the particular person, he was not very happy with this condition, but we cannot help. But there are certain people with overweight, or because of lifestyle conditions, then they can correct themselves. And I've seen, and I can, unfortunately, I cannot share my screen, but I could have shown you a video that one of my childhood friends, he was around 120, but within 8 months, he reduced it to 65 kgs. And we can also see the example of Amir Khan ji, that Amir Khan, when he was shooting Dangal, he raised his weight for 25 kgs, and again within 6 months he came to normal age. Anything else, Anusha? Ravindra, you have muted Anusha again. Just unmute herself. Ravindra, unmute.
Yes, sir. It's taking time from their side to unmute.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
Anusha.
sir. Done.
Hope you
Yes,
are
sir.
very
Sir,
satisfied.
that was the main question that I had, and also relating to that, I think I mean, not just about obesity. I mean, also like the lifestyle, as you mentioned. I think that is like the one big factor that I am also noticing. And sir, for people with the functional depression, so for even for them, like there is a period where they are able to do only their regular. I mean, say for example, they can go to office, they can. Do things at their office like very well, but then when it comes to their home and things that they have to do on a regular basis, like bathing, cleaning themselves, and all of this very basic course that they have to do, that sometimes that they are not able to cope with, right, sir? So even in here, like the unconditional love is something that plays an important role in it, sir.
Yes, exactly. It happens, and see, Anusha, when it comes to depression, there are two types of depression. Again, like the obesity, one is caused by a biological causation. What you call that endogenous depression, arising out of a neurochemical and neurotransmitter imbalance, and one can take a pharmacological treatment. Another one is reactive depression, in reaction to event, in reaction to relationships. This happens. So a combination of psychotherapy or cognitive behavior therapy with the pharmacological intervention, one will definitely improve better, Anusha. Ravindra, I think Anik, India.
Thank you,
Anusha,
sir.
anything else?
No, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the explanation. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Ravindra, somebody also raised the hand. Anik, India.
Yeah, Anik, you can go ahead. Anik?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving opportunity to speak. So, sir, as a student of medical, the main issues which we see is stress management, and as in India, we can see in some places that the cases of suicide has been increased day by day by the students. They suicide after getting the bad results or not in favor of them, so they decide to do suicides. So I want to just ask my question that what should we do as a student, and what should as a parents can do that we can be very managed and we can handle this all problems, and we should not take this step of doing suicide. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Anik, first of all, when you individually or in others, when you identify somebody is undergoing stress, somebody is undergoing problems, we can help them by talking to them, spending time with them. But generally, unfortunately, many human beings feel that they are the superhuman beings and they can solve any problem. And going to a psychologist, going to a psychiatrist is a very that he is a failure in life. But there is a scientific evidence, there is a scientific medicine available, scientific approach to treatment of depression and anxiety is available. So we need to encourage other people to take professional help, and please not to depend upon this Google, Chat GPT, and artificial intelligence. You can take a help for simple tips, but when it comes to your own personal mental health, because according to World Health Organization, there is no health without mental health. So one should be very careful and one should be very taking care of oneself. Ravindra?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ravindra, if there are no further questions, can I log out? Dr. Ravindra?
Yes, sir. On behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art Sciences and Well-being, we thank you, sir. Once again, we express our heartfelt gratitude for your valuable time and joining us and giving wonderful insights and learning on this so wonderful topic. On behalf of participants, we wish you all the success for your future endeavors. We look forward for more sessions in future. I know within your busy schedule, you gave us your valuable time. We'll be ever grateful to you. Sir. Thank you. Sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ravindra, and I wish you all the best for all the participants. And thank you so much, Dr. Ravindra keeps conducting these kind of webinars from Corona period, and he has done. I think he must have crossed more than a century of webinars. And I congratulate him, and I wish you all the best. Thank you, Ravindra, for this wonderful opportunity. And if anybody wishes to connect with me, it is very simple. Email ID Dr. Krishna, drkrishna.namh@gmail.com. Thank you all and have a good night.
Thank you, sir. Participants, if you have any further queries, you can leave in chat box. We'll connect to Dr. Krishna, sir, later on. Now, we will move on to our next speaker. after this wonderful session from Krishna sir. We have Dr. R. Rajeshwari. She has PhD in social work and currently working as a vice principal of South Campus and also chairperson, Board of Studies and assistant professor, Department of Social Work, Telangana University, South Campus, Tichpalli, Nizamabad. And she has held various positions as warden, principal, full charge, and chairman BOS, and also head for 2 terms for Department of Social Work and Department of History. And she was also coordinator for Gender Cell and Personality Development. Her area of expertise lies in teaching, training, psychological counseling, social science research, and she is also a professional member in various professional organizations like HPA, Hyderabad Psychological Association, NAPSWI, National Association for Professional Social Workers in India, and also NHRD Network. And she has published 10 papers and over 5 books on social work practice and around 16 papers presented in last 10 years. So with this brief introduction, now I would like to invite Dr. R. Rajeshwari. We welcome you, ma'am, on this occasion for this international seminar for your topic, Theories of Suicide. Over to you, ma'am. You can start your audio and video.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes,
Is my voice clear?
yes, ma'am. You are visible and you are audible.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. At the outset, let me thank Dr. Ravindra of Sri Holistic Foundation for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge on this day of World Suicide Prevention Day 2025. All of us are aware about the theme for this year. It started in 2024. The same theme is continuing for another two years up to 2026, changing the narrative of suicide. Before I start my presentation, I would like to start with a powerful prayer. Like, this is a powerful prayer that expresses a wish for universal well-being. It emphasizes health and well-being for all living organisms and human beings by promoting a sense of unity and harmony in the world. This prayer wishes for the welfare of everyone. It highlights the interconnected nature of life and promotes a sense of community responsibility towards one another. And here it goes, the prayer. Sarve bhavantu sukinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhag bhavet. Meaning, may all beings be happy, may all beings be free from diseases, may all beings experience an auspiciousness, and may no one suffer in any way. With this prayer, yes, this is a day that we express our solidarity, we express our concern for everyone around to do our bit to play our role in preventing suicides. And in any case, if any of them have succumbed, we are with them as a humanity. We do express our well-being for them. Okay, so my topic for today is on theories. This is a psychosocial theories. Since I belong to social work profession, as my profession is social work, I am going to cover psychosocial theories of suicide, the causes, the reasons behind suicide. Let me share my presentation. I think it's shared and it is seen.
Yeah, you can make it a full screen, man.
Yeah. One minute. Yes. Okay.
Now it's full screen.
Yeah. Yes.
Like that.
So, well, as Dr. Ravindra has introduced me, I'm from the Department of Social Work, Telangana University, situated in Kamareddy. Yes, there is some background for this word, suicide. It is derived from two Latin words. Sui means oneself, cedium or cadere is to kill oneself. Suicidum is the Latin word. Suicide, also known as completed suicide, is the act of taking one's own life. When we look at the statistics, the factors which contribute to suicide, this is based on the NCRB, National Crime Records Bureau, which has mentioned the causes behind suicide. Around 45% of the deaths which occur due to suicide is because of mental illness. Then around 30% is about the intimate partner relationships. Between 20 to 30, it is almost nearing to 30% is about the recent crisis that has happened in the person's life. It includes the events in a person's life cycle. It can be any negative event, maybe death of a family member, health crisis, financial losses. That is all covered in recent crisis. Then physical health is also contributing up to 25%. Problems at workplace, work pressure, around 10%. And financial problems also almost somewhere nearer to 10 to 12%. The psychological theories of suicide. I have picked up 3 major theories which contributed for the cause or the reason behind suicide. The first one is the cubic model of suicide given by Sheindman in the year 1985. As per this theory, Sheindman says a person commits suicide for the reason it is a combination of stress. That means there is severe stress. The severe stress along with the pain in the mind, the pressure that is created in the mind, and the disturbances in his personal life will result in suicide, or they are at risk. It may not completely result in suicide, they are at risk. Continuous stress. The capacity to overcome the stress lies in the individual, and the coping mechanisms which the person takes depends on the person's ability, exposure, awareness, support, the situation. The second theory of suicide model is suicide as escape from self. This was given by Baumeister in the year 1990. As per this, the reason for suicide or attempting to suicide is escaping from the painful situation of self-awareness. Self-awareness here is when we come to know about our own self. Our own self, it can be the ways of the results where we get to know of our performance. It can be the performance, it can be the physical appearance, or it can be the situation which we are because of a particular day, bad day. There, we think about ourselves. Am I fit well? So we start analyzing self-awareness, where we try to think low about ourselves. Just because the day was bad, or just because the performance was not up to the mark, we conclude something wrong with us. The self-awareness, because we give so much of importance to our self-awareness, we think so much of high about ourselves, and a person thinks they are not fit to live or survive. The third theory is the cognitive model of suicidal behavior, given by Wenzel and Beck in the year 2008. As per this, it says the disturbance in the thought process, the cognition, our own thoughts. There is no other enemy for us in the world. It is our own mind, our own thoughts. Nobody else is the cause for any of our bad situations. Things go wrong, but it is ourself which is going to analyze what went wrong, why it went wrong. Can I make the adjustment? Can I overcome? If these thoughts happen in a person, I'm sure a person doesn't go to that extent. These are the three major theories that I picked up for today's presentation about psychological theories of suicide. Moving over to sociological theories of suicide, Emil Durkheim's very famous theory on suicide. He has given 4 situations: egoistic theory of suicide, altruistic theory of suicide, fatalistic theory of suicide, anomic. It's anomy, not anomic. Spell mistake there. Anomy theory of suicide. As per egoistic, where does this happen? Like, this happens in a society. Suicides happen in family. Family belongs to a society. So Emil Durkheim says that such kind of egoistic suicides happen in societies that are mostly individual centered, where a person concentrates more on personal achievement. So here in the premises I've given, when people lack solidarity, that means egoistic person, as per the sociological theory based on Emil Durkheim's observation, is that if a person is thinking of his own self, when he is not willing to express his solidarity with the society. The example for this egoistic suicide is, take the example of a person who has migrated from urban to rural, or from urban to inter-country migration. In the process of adjustment, the person is concentrating only on his self. In the process of migration, if he fails to get a job, or if he fails to get a good home to live in the migrated place, the person feels that he or she is not worth living, is not worth, because they have not succeeded by migrating. Migration has its pros and cons, a person should believe, but as an egoistic person, they are more concentrating on the self, the individualist, the personal achievements, my own achievements. There can be another example for this. A widow or a widower thinks that it happened only for that person. So these are the phases which occur naturally for a person at some age. The preparedness to face the widowhood, the person thinks it is only I need happen to me, as per egoistic theory. Moving on to the second theory, that is altruistic theory, as per Emil Durkheim. He says it is a result when the level of solidarity is exceptionally high. What does this mean? Altruistic suicide happens in societies that are collectivist, and they emphasize on group loyalty. This is quite opposite to egoistic theory. In egoistic theory, it is self-centered, that person's individual achievements. But in altruistic, that person will feel that he has to bring success to the group he belongs to the area which he belongs to the community which he belongs to the state he belongs to the nation he belongs to. One best example for this altruistic theory of suicide is, take the case of soldiers. They are taught to fight, do or die. They feel very humiliated when they lose. They don't mind. They don't mind succumbing at the cost of themselves. If they lose, they feel it's something below their training. Another example here is suicide bomber. Even if I die, it's okay, but the aim, I benefit the larger society. But this is a negative example. Suicide bomber is a negative example, whereas the case of a soldier, for that matter, sometimes you must have heard of kings and monarchs who have lost in wars. By losing their kingdom, they feel they have not helped their kingdom and they commit suicide. In the larger welfare of the community, they feel if I am not there, it will be good for the society. That is the altruistic suicide. Then the third one, that is fatalistic suicide, as per Emile Durkheim. It is the result from too much of social control. What is too much of social control? Here, too much of social control means too much of strict sanctions or strict regulations, or in simple, it is like this: strict upbringing, rules and regulations. If you don't do this, you will be punished. If you fail, you will not be allowed to come inside. Those were the training some of the parents did earlier. Now it is not seen, but it does happen in some families also. Very strict rules and regulations. That's the fatalistic suicide. And then the last one, that is anomie kind of suicide, as per Emile Durkheim. It occurs as a result of rapid change in the society. The best example here is due to urbanization, modernization, industrialization. There is a lot of confusion happening. The society here is a little unstable because of the rapid changes that happen. Even best example is because of the local liberalization, privatization and globalization. How many of them have lost their jobs, unable to adjust to the rapid economic and social changes that happen due to LPG? Or it can be because of the IT revolution also. Many people couldn't adjust, but they all have overcome in their own ways. At the end, it is the person who loses the coping mechanisms or strategies will succumb. So as per sociologists, these are the 4 kinds of theories of suicide. Now, this is purely theory. Now, from this, like, since I belong to social work profession, it's not knowing about the theories. Theories will tell us the cause, but what are the alternate mechanisms? Like, what is the social work profession going to do to prevent suicide? We have our own methodology through which we are going to prevent suicide before and after for the families to cope up. So these are the 6 methods of social work that we use: social casework, social group work, community organization. Now, casework happens at the individual level, group work happens at the group level. A group of teens who are identified, who show a risky behavior. Then in community organization, we are going to create awareness. This is a preventive method of intervention. Social work research before and after. Social action. Now, earlier this was not that familiar, but now with the increase in the suicides in the youth, National Crime Record Bureau says that around 40% of the suicides happen in the age group of 15 to 30. In some studies, it has shown 15 to 24. That means these are all the higher education, higher secondary school and intermediate and graduate students. Now, for them, how social action will help? It's a mass movement that we are going to create awareness in the communities about the increase in the suicide, the causes of suicide, how the families get affected, how it is going to burden the economy of the country, how it is going to burden the social processes in a state. So this is a mass movement. And counseling, yes, it is partly social counseling, that as social workers, we do involve the psychological counseling, but as a social work professional, we believe in social work counseling. When things don't go well, we naturally have to refer the client to a psychologist, clinical psychologist, or to a psychiatrist, a mental health expert. Now, from social work, like, see, we believe in prevention. As we all have heard to Dr. Sri Krishna, who said about the self identity, which is the root cause. Like, people are unable to identify where they stand. So, as social workers, we play a role in preventing. See, catch them young. See, it's not that we wait till the things go bad. It's as simple when you identify yourself. Like, a suicide is a emotional component of a person. Here we do stress on our emotions. Identify your emotions, your positive emotions, your negative emotions. So as a social work professions, we simply give a few tips. Like, for this half an hour session, I picked a few major punch words which we use in social work for the students when we talk about prevention of suicide. Do not be over emotional. And faith is what keeps us moving. That is where I started my session with the prayer. Like, when you pray for the well-being of yourself and others, you are sending that vibration that there is nature to take care of me. This is a helpless, hopeless person who loses hope on the society, that they feel they are not helped. So faith is something which keeps us moving. The nature, the supernatural power, the God. When we believe that God is there beside me, nothing can break us. With the breakup of the joint families, with the nuclear families, very rarely people are having family prayers. They are on their own, they have their own way of prayers. Faith is something which is really something which we need to talk about for the present young generation. Do not ever give up. Keep trying. So what? So what? Every time something goes wrong, so what? Heavens. So these are the simple things which we talk in our school days. So what? Heavens have not fallen. That is what the English sentences, a phrase which we use. So what? There is something else. There is an alternative. This is not the end. We are here to keep continuing till the end. If we are given these inputs right from our childhood, we are helping a person to go into the negative thoughts. Do not make things complicated. Keep them simple. Yes, the more complicated we become, our thoughts are so complicated, and we make it so complicated for even the therapist also sometimes cannot deal with us, the kind of complicated thought which we are going for. Like, on Sunday, 7th September, I attended a workshop by an NGO called SPAN in Hyderabad. The founder of that, Mr. Ashwin, he was saying, he got a client who says, there is a pimple here on my face. Your face is so plain and smooth. You do not have a pimple on your face. That is disturbing me. I feel I'm not worth living. What complicated thought processes are the young generation going into? Things, keeping it simple. It again happens from the nurturing, rearing. As social workers believe in prevention, it all happens from the families. No doubt, family is nurturing. The environmental component is 50%, 50% is our nature, also the nature of our personality, our hereditary, all these are also a part of it. But we can underplay the hereditary, the genetical component which is one of the causes of suicide, through our nurturing practices. So we need to identify this and keep things simple. Do not take matters seriously. Laugh at problems. Mind over matter or matter over mind. Many of the times we're concentrating on the matter, wealth, the possession of the materials. If your mind is above all this, you don't need the material only to some extent, but it is the mind that controls the material and not the material that controls the mind. The mind is its own place and in itself can make heaven of hell and hell of heaven. By John Milton, many of us must have heard it in our school poetries. Do not be grown up. The more fast we are growing, the more we are getting into early adulthood very fast and taking up things so seriously. The stimulation which we are giving to the child, a child who is supposed to be a 6-year has to be like a 6-year only. Grow as per the age. Things are time specific. You need to grow as per the time. Like a 6-year-old is supposed to hold the pen and write straight lines then. But where are our children doing that now? Immediately from the year 2nd year, or maybe now they must have done it earlier to 2nd year also. In my generation, where my daughter belongs to Gen Z, I sent her to the school when nursery, when she was 3 plus. Present day parents are sending their child at the age of 2 to nursery. They're calling it pre-nursery. Allow them to grow naturally. Do not overstimulate. So be youthful, active, energetic. So conclusion, suicide is an act done as they think that world would be better off without them. The best way is to prevent them by showing them you care for them, that you need them. Yes, here we need to keep on checking up. Now, we may get doubt, how do I know a person is having the suicidal thoughts or tendencies? A person who has got the suicidal thoughts and tendencies does express them anytime in different ways and actions. We need to keep checking that. Yes, there is one that is impulsive, in a fit of rage. It happens that we do not know, but other reasons where there is a kind of depression or social isolation, they do send warning signs. Here, as a social worker, how mindful are we towards the others? That is what in that prayer also which says, how much are you looking about your surroundings, your well-wishers? So you need to be very conscious, mindful, checking upon, is everything okay with you? How many times in a day we talk to our friends, relatives? Yes, suicide is 100% preventable. Speak up, reach out. A person who has got suicidal tendency has to speak up. That is what the theme changing narrative says. There is no taboo, there is no stigma. It is all the part of a person's life. It can happen to any person, anywhere. It is preventable. Only thing, you use your thought processes, speak up, take help, seek help. This is what there are two hands which are showing: seeking help and giving help. There is a counselor, there is a social worker, there is a psychologist, there is a well-wisher, there are peer counselors. You can also be a befriender. Befriender is a term which we give to the suicidal counselors, where befriending is one aspect to prevent suicides and refer them to the clinical psychologist, psychiatrist, or a therapist. And yes, we all need to provide hope. We believe in hope. Every day we wake up freshly, hoping that today is going to be a miracle for me, a wonderful day. Raise your day with hope. And the very word of hope says, hold on, pain ends. pain is not permanent. These are temporaries. But if you look at this, pain is temporary. Suicide is permanent. Do not commit suicide. Say no to suicides by preventing it through proper interventions. Proper interventions here, as psychologists, as social workers, we need to be mindful about the people around us. If we cater to our own family members, our own friend circle, that's the more than 100% justice which we do ourselves on this day of World Suicide Prevention Day, where we can think about being mindful towards the persons who show suicidal tendencies. So from the theory base to the application part, that every one of us have a role to play in this aspect of preventing suicide. And in the future days, the suicides are going down from college to the school students. You must have heard several cases in the paper which talk about suicides in the school children, a 7th class student committing suicide. Where are we heading to? I would like to refer to a movie which I saw, a Telugu movie, Annaganaga movie. I think it clearly says the role of the parents in helping a student to overcome their hardships. I think with this, I end my thoughts, which I thought I should present to the gathering here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful presentation. So participants, if you have any queries or observations.
Yeah, I would like to mention about a mental health helpline, mental health helpline, which many of us are aware. 14416 Manas Telecounseling Center, which does take up the counseling for mental health aspects. Suicide does fall under mental health also. And there is one more helpline, 14446, also a helpline for in case of disasters also they do attend. Yes, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. One helpline, as you already mentioned, and for senior citizens also, we have a dedicated helpline.
Yes.
For rehabilitation, for persons with disabilities also, we have a dedicated helpline. Not only just for mental health, but also for various issues. They are catering as a one-time, a one-stop solution for various, services health related. So thank you for this value addition, ma'am.
Yeah, in Hyderabad, there are counseling centers like Roshni Trust, and these are two separate organizations. Roshni Trust is one, and Roshni Counseling Center is one. Then we have One Life organization. Then there is Neurons, which are doing wonderful work on suicide prevention. They are giving skills on befriending. Everyone who wants to work in this area of rehabilitation need to be a befriender. So we have to update ourselves with befriending skills when we talk about suicide prevention. Neuron is an organization in Hyderabad. SPAN is another organization in Hyderabad. Say information has to be passed on to those who are not aware of this. There is Seva Kendra, then there is Macro Foundation also. I think these are all available on internet also. The moment you just type on the internet to find out about suicidal counseling centers, because many of them do not even know they can give a call to them and seek help. Yes, they do feel it as a pressure to talk to their family members. They feel stigmatized, or they may worry, what will my parents think about it? In case they feel, always they can bank on, but even that also they do not know. See, when a person is committing suicide, they do not even know that they should seek help. Firstly, when a person is growing, they should know first it is the right to live. It is a fundamental right. We are born, we have to die naturally as per whatever happens, but not the suicide. Yes, thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. As you rightly said, first of all, we need to be happy with whatever we have. That self-contentment itself is a great, joy for us that we are happy with whatever we have. Then, there is no question of getting unhappy. The vicious cycle which goes on, being unhappy, sad, then adding on to stress, anxiety, and so on. So, very well articulated, various concepts and theories of suicide. So, we have Ghanshyam Garbji. Yeah,
Yes, sir. I want to ask this. You have mentioned about pedestrian cause, too much social control. What is the example of this?
Realistic suicide. Yes, sir. Please come again.
Fatalistic cause, too much social control, strict regulations, upbringing rules and regulations. What?
Yeah.
Please give me one example of it.
Okay. Here, what happens? The child feels worried. If I fail, my parents will not accept me. They may not like me. They may hate me. It starts. I'm firstly starting with the education itself, because that is where many of the student suicides are happening. Failure. If I fail, my parents do not accept me, or they feel that because parents always give hints telling that we have paid so much of fees for you have to study, you have to pass at any cost, is what some of the parents tell, not all, some parents. That is one example. The other example is like coming into about the cultural restrictions on a person. You should get married in our own community only. You cannot marry outside our religion, outside our caste, or you cannot marry a person from a low income status. Strict restrictions. There are parents who have disowned their children because they married against their wishes. There are people, okay, they may walk out. That's the good sign. They have walked out instead of committing suicide. It's one of the reasons, not the reason, okay? As per Emile Durkheim, the social situations, the regulations which we put sanctions on the society, it starts again from the families. So these are the two best examples I can share which happen in the family, the strict restrictions which we put. And many of the times it is the female gender, girls, because they fear this dressing sense also interferes with them. They do feel humiliated when they're not allowed to wear a particular costume for a freshers day, for a farewell. They belong to a traditional family, and naturally when they have to go for a freshers party, they think they have to be with the group, they have to be accepted by the group.
Right, madam. Right. Thank you, madam.
Yeah, I could see Ansha's hand raised.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, Anusha.
Hi, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, as we talked about this, I just want to, know about one case. Before I talk about this, I think I just wanted to give a trigger warning, as I'm going to talk about something very sensitive. Like the thing is, one of my junior, who is also a psychologist, she died by suicide a few months back. And the condition with her was that, she was such a studious girl, very sweet. She has been like a ray of hope for so many people around us. Like so many people have, benefited from like how she has treated them, how she has been with them, and till date, I'm not able to, just digest the fact that she is no more, and she, if she had died by any other means, we would have all been like, we would have processed the grief. But till date, I'm not just able to process this grief, just because she was one such person who we all saw, as a ray of hope, and like someone who has spoke against suicide. And like she has been like holding sessions, like a lot of sessions around it as well. And till date, we are not able to find the reason, the cause for her death, ma'am. What could have been the reason? Like any speculations here, ma'am?
Now, looking at the sociological angle and all, unless the person comes out, we do not know what the person was undergoing through. Yes, and being a psychologist herself, okay, giving sessions on suicide prevention, and if she has succumbed, maybe she must have taken a stress about the suicide, where that stress must have resulted in a kind of borderline mental illness to her, because mental illness is one cause of suicide. In case of, we do not know if she's diagnosed or not. I'm not the right person to tell, because I have heard the cases of people having bipolar, schizophrenic, very few, again not all, no, the mental illness is a person, if he is diagnosed, there is a chance of them to undergo this. And here, one thing what I want to say is that person should be aware of their own self emotions, what the person is undergoing. Now, being a psychologist, when she is spreading the awareness, she must be very well aware about her own self, what's going in her own self. Unless we seek help, she should have sent a warning signal to any of her close friends. Any of her close friends, if she had sent, it could have been prevented, just the way I said in my last slide, that it can be prevented, provided that person is seeking help or had sought the help. So we cannot conclude like what must have happened for her, okay? Because I have stressed on the theories where I said these are the reasons why a person commits suicide. So we cannot go into the reasons. Analyzing after it happened, if she had sought help, then if she was assessed for her mental health, then she would have been made understood by her therapist. That's my understanding from what you have said, Anusha. Like, you are trying to know what must have gone wrong when she herself was giving awareness about suicide prevention. Yes?
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That was the reason that I wanted to know. Actually, what we heard from her case is that she did take psychological help. I mean, like she was visiting a psychologist, but we don't know how her relationship was with the psychologist.
Yeah.
But in spite of all of that, from our end, like from whatever we discussed inside ourselves, we just thought maybe it was her bodily conditions. I mean, like she
Yeah,
had
the
gone through an
biological, see, the
operation.
hormones,
Yeah.
the impact which her chemical combination, the dose which we call, no, the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin combination. It could be a biological one also. Though she was taking counseling, if something biologically has triggered, see, that is also one cause of suicide, the biological triggering which happens in the brain, the chemical imbalance, the dose we call it, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. This balance is again to be done by us every day. Constantly, we need to regulate our mechanisms every day. In spite of that, there is a negligible percentage of people succumbing to, because though we said refer to clinical psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, there are chances. See, you take the case of the patients who go to the doctor for surgeries or very severe surgeries. There will be a condition where doctors say there may be table deaths. They may be. So this is a rare case where, in spite of taking counseling, she succumbed. Means there is negligible percent which cannot be saved. We need to accept that also. Like we cannot keep ourselves that though I'm going for counseling, why it has happened. The biological thing which a psychologist cannot go inside the brain and see. And there are certain other theories also, those of us who believe in the karmic actions, the past karmas and suicides happening in the family, like this caption where we say poverty breeds poverty. We cannot break that cycle. A person, unless they break that cycle of poverty, they will not be able to rise to the next higher level of income status. They say in case a suicide has happened in a family, uh, there are tendencies that it can be carried forward, and we need to be mindful in the family when we know there is a history of suicide, which all of us as a normal citizen, irrespective of whether you're a psychologist or a sociologist or a social worker, which we need to be very careful about. Yes, Anusha.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for letting me know, ma'am. Ma'am, one last question, just
Yeah.
to know that. So when you were talking about like the medical doses, as I mentioned, so she had undergone an operation like for some back pain and all that. After that is like after some period after that is where she died by suicide. So is there? I mean, like, and also like what we heard was it was an impulsive decision. So could like, I mean, is there a chance that like these chemicals or like the medicines could have like I mean resulted in this, ma'am?
In one of the slide, I said around 12% is because of the health conditions. Okay,
Right.
the health does impact her dose. The brain chemicals does get affected. In spite of that, if we are consciously monitoring our mental health hygiene, a person may not land up in that situation, but an impulsive decision and certain DNA components will make a person to commit that. That's the rare case. It doesn't happen for the persons who do take up, a rare case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for explaining, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Anusha, and thank you, ma'am, for your patience in clarifying. Anyone else would like to share your observations or any queries? We can quickly take one or two.
Any charts? Because I can't see the charts. You only should be able to tell Dr. Ravindra.
Ma'am, one query is there from Pradeep. What are reactive depression symptoms? How it differs from clinical depression? If you can answer, that's fine.
I think a psychologist should take the call.
Yeah.
I'm not a right person for that.
Pradeep, we will get back to you.
You need to excuse me on that because I've come from social work background. Yes, Dr. Ravindra. Anything more? Or if the organizers would like to share or any clarification, in case any ambiguity somewhere, anywhere in my presentation.
Fine, ma'am. I mean, everything is well presented. Concepts have been very well articulated and presented. There is one more message, it's an observation by Rashi Indoria. In ancient India, we used to live in a joint family. and
Yes.
we were surrounded with many people
Mm.
to talk. But these days, scenario is getting changed. Families are shifting to a neutral one, and even those families, both parents are working. Nobody has time to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes.
what do you think of being westernizing or following a global culture would be a cause of this?
Yes, Rashi, everything comes with a price. I remember in the year 2000 when LPG was introduced in India, as a young social work faculty, we had World Social Work Forum in Hyderabad, where all the social activists from the field and all were against this LPG concept. We didn't want this for India, but we were helpless. So we have to go with the crowd. Agreed with you that going back to the roots. Now the upcoming generations are thinking of going back to the roots. What has urbanization, modernization, westernization given us? There are two perceptions. There are people who are happy with that westernized thoughts. There are people who would like to go back to the roots. Either way, it's the choice is person's individual one. And I strongly believe in indigenous knowledge. Yes, the loneliness is going to become the highest, it will become like a epidemic in the coming years. People are now wanting to go back to joint families, extended families. They no more are interested in, but that is again a very negligible person, but even that percentage, but that seems to be very high for me. Going back to indigenous knowledge systems of our ancient systems is what social work believes in. Thank you. Any more? Yes, Dr. Ravindra, can we sign off? Is there anything else?
Thank you,
That
ma'am.
question
I
which I
think
couldn't answer, maybe you can take that question and get it clarified with Dr. Sri Krishna.
sure, ma'am.
Pradeep's question.
I think we are done with the Q&A session.
Yeah.
So thank you all the participants for being very interactive and taking well observations and queries. So we, on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation of India and as well as Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing, on behalf of all the participants, we wish you all the success, ma'am. And
Thank you, and
look forward for future sessions as well.
very much. Thank you, and wish that we all look upon every day. We check upon with each other. Is everything okay? All is well. In Three Idiots movie, all is well. How we praise ourselves and praise others. Let's wish for each other. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable time and joining us. So, participants, with this, we shall conclude this session and we shall move on with a few tips and strategies. So, you can continue sharing your queries or observations in the chat box so that we'll be taking up one by one. Even if resource person is not available, we will get back to you after contacting them with your queries. So you can also share your further queries, observations in the chat box as well as in the feedback form. And many of you has our email address as well. And this joining link is also same for every day. So we have been organizing every day from 6 o'clock onwards. Every day sessions are being organized on various topics across the disciplines as we are having the theme of United Nations Sustainable Development. So it's an umbrella term which encompasses all the disciplines and with diversified fields And every day we have kept it open. It's free. All the sessions are free. As part of this international webinar series, we are organizing seminars, workshops, symposiums, webinars, all under this series. And everything is free, including publication, collaborations. We don't charge anything. The primary objective of this is to bring, especially the first generation learners, to provide them an international platform, because many do not get that easily access to, platforms. That is the point where we created as a social worker. We thought it's our responsibility to have such a platform. And as a fraternity, we need to create platforms where we can all come together. And since our journey started long back before pandemic, but since pandemic, every day, almost every day, we are having sessions on various topics, themes. So we invite everyone to keep joining. The link is same, and you can see every year, only just the year changes. Other rest of the thing remains same. So all the sessions are there live on YouTube every day. You can just go to our channel and you can see sessions, recorded sessions, live sessions are there. All are welcome as long as you are maintaining the decorum of the platform and the presentations are scientific, objective in nature. You can come and present. You can also attend daily and you can gain insights. And one thing we are very particular about this platform is with the documentation part. Generally, it comes at the last on our platform, because this platform is basically, we have a system that is designed in such a way, and we take care of the documentation part, because initially, though we started small, but now this stands to be the one of the India's largest program, where as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and we are still continuing this program, which is India's largest program of daily series as such. So, and we take pride that with the support of fraternity of various disciplines, we have organized thousands of webinars, seminars, conferences across disciplines, and we have resource persons. Since we started these sessions, we have participants, resource persons from more than 160 countries across the globe on various occasions, and we have collaborations with various organizations, public, private, educational institutions, official and unofficial, formal and informal. And people also keep joining, and we have collaborations also where everyone can collaborate. There is no financial constraints. So as long as intent is right, there is a noble cause behind. We are always welcoming everyone, and there are no conditions. You need not even know us. As long as you have the right intent, we always keep encouraging. Use this opportunity. I know our time, generally we have 6 to 8, but in special occasions, we have gone somewhere in the midnight and early morning, 2, 3 also. Our regular participants know how to create an opportunity for everyone. We have extended our time beyond the capacities, but still we ensure that everyone gets their opportunity. So today also, what we will do is we will extend one more day for tomorrow also. So you can join tomorrow, because I thought I will take one more topic, which is very much essential. especially with respect to language and communication. So that will take time. So what I would do is we will have one more day, and you will also get one more certificate. So no need to worry. But tomorrow also you can keep joining with the same link. And if someone who has missed out on the presentations can also present tomorrow. You need not register again through Google form. The same form is enough. If you have already registered, no need to register again. Or if your friends are interested to join, they can register. You can share the same link with them. They can register and join and make the presentations. So today, if anyone have already shared, any presentations are pending? So all the rest of the presentations, especially, but if anyone would like to make presentations, just send your details in the email. We will schedule accordingly. And tomorrow we will have one more day. And all the participants also, you can join. If you are unable to join in Zoom, you can watch in YouTube as well. And you can provide your name, designation, and organization, if possible, please. Don't share any mobile numbers or email ID on YouTube chat, because it can compromise privacy or confidentiality. So on public domains, please don't share your email or contact numbers, especially if you are not comfortable. And we are also not suggesting to share. Only thing is to identify. You could share your name, designation, and organization. Along with that, if you are comfortable, you can share the place from where you are joining in YouTube, and watch it completely, right, till the end of the session. In the live chat, you will have option if you have any queries or feedback, appreciation, or any response. Always keep interactive in the live chat. You can post your details and also queries. Once the session is over, even the live chat will get closed. So you have to mark your attendance in the live chat. And in the similar way, you have to mark your attendance in Zoom session. Now we'll be sharing the feedback form. So tomorrow, after this session, tomorrow also we will take feedback, as well as you can mark attendance tomorrow. So now I am sharing the feedback form. So the feedback form is active now in the form of polls. We request everyone to quickly fill. And tomorrow, with the same ID, joining link, you can join. And tomorrow for 2 days, we'll be sharing a Google Form feedback link also. Those who are attending in YouTube, so need not worry. You can continue to attend tomorrow also. And we'll be sharing the feedback link in Google Form tomorrow for YouTubers, those who are watching on YouTube. As well as here also, if you have missed a feedback form here, you can also fill that tomorrow. But those who are attending in Zoom, it is very easy to identify and map your attendance. So always try to join in, log in the Zoom platform. If the capacity is full, then you can also watch on YouTube. So tomorrow, if any presentations are there, we invite you to join tomorrow at 6 o'clock sharp. And we will take all the presentations one by one. When you are mentioning your presentation, also mention the duration, because we can schedule accordingly. How much time it is required. In general, do not exceed 20 to 30 minutes. Keep it very simple, short and simple, but convey the message. So tomorrow we will look at in brief about various communication strategies that can be used to prevent suicide prevention. So we thank each and everyone for taking your valuable time, joining us in this session. So see you all tomorrow at the same time, 6 o'clock, with the same joining link. And tomorrow we will take up rest of the presentations, and I will also be sharing communication strategies and so on. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night. And we wish you all, a happy day. You have received so many insights, and always be there for your people. Reach out to your family members, reach out to your community, reach out, talk to them. They might need us, or sometimes we need them. So let's all keep connected to each other through various platforms. Even our platform is there. If you want, you can anonymously share the details. We can also address your query in a safe zone where our experts also can help you and guide. So thank you once again. Take care. Good night. Before leaving, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form. It will be open for next 5 minutes. Don't be in a hurry. Fill all the details. Thank you.